So if we're going to start out, we're going to start out by my morning yesterday. I was in the middle of doing a deep dive. If I'm going to be completely honest, I was studying the Belgian oligarchy.
Hey, why not? It's Belgian oligarchy. Yeah.
I'm studying the history of the Belgian oligarchy when Chuck texts me and goes, this SPLC thing, we need to do a counterpunch about it. And I had no idea what SPLC was. So that's how I want to frame the beginning of this. And then I want to rewind a few years. So a few years back, right? I've always been paying attention to this stuff, and I know George Soros is behind a lot of this funding. But the piece that was throwing me off, as all the research I'm doing, the piece that's throwing me off is like, I understand that when you have money, you can grow money. And when you have money, you can grow money. And it takes money to make money and all that kind of stuff. But we all learn from him, MC Hammer. If you just start giving droves and droves and droves of money away, eventually you're going to be poor. So I'm looking at George Soros as like MC Hammer, but on a major geopolitical perspective. How is he throwing hundreds of millions of dollars here and and he has this this is what I'm thinking.
I'm sorry. I'm
Right?
picturing George Soros in hammer pants right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sitting there, it's like George Soros was sitting there in like 1991, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I think I'm too legit to quit."
Oh my
Right. So
God.
anyway, point is, sorry, douche chill alert. Point is that George Soros, right? I'm taking the MC Hammer approach to George Soros. We're not editing any of that out. So,
No.
so George Soros, how is he like not running out of money? That's the piece that I didn't understand. And then last year, USAID hits, right? USAID and I knew
National
about the
Endowment for
National
Democracy.
Endowment for Democracy. I understood that, and I understood that they had the different wings and how that was a cutout and all that kind of. But I didn't quite understand USA. And you know what? And honestly, maybe I didn't quite get. But either way, the point is that the USAID made sense, and the reason why USAID made sense, it's like, oh, the never-ending faucet of money isn't coming from George Soros. You hear about shell companies and all that kind of stuff. Shell companies are NGOs. The money's coming from us. The never ending faucet is the taxpayers. So last year, USAID gets cut off, right? And it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then you think, okay, if the taxpayer money is going to get cut off, then what they need is basically like, when you sell a house, you have a house and you're going to sell your house here, and then you're going to buy this house here, and you don't have money for 2 days. Right. So
Hmm.
what are you going to do? Maybe, or you buy this house 2 days before you buy your house. You have what's called a bridge loan, which carries you over in that
Yeah.
period until you sell your house. Right.
Hmm.
So my thought process is USAID gets cut off. So now the funnel is gone. They have to get to the midterms. They get to the midterms. They win the midterms. And then all of a sudden now Trump's out, Vance is out, Hakeem Jeffries is in. And what happens? The funnel turns back on. So that bridge loan in the middle is people like Bill Gates and George Soros and Steven Spielberg and all this stuff. These people who have all this money,
Spielberg.
yeah. Why is it all of a sudden he's got this amazing alien movie coming out? While Aliens is but that's a whole other thing.
That's a
But
different thing. Yeah.
nonetheless, the reason why these people are so good is because they're able to operate in the shadows, and they're able to stay ahead of you where you can't figure it out. So the piece that I couldn't figure out, even though it was right in front of me the whole time, was the Southern Poverty Law Center. That's where they continue to get funding, and that's where they continue to live. So here's the deal. You have everybody's going, oh my God, the midterms are lost. You have everybody saying MAGA is, and how are these people who used to be all of a sudden flipping, and there's a
Hmm.
war in Iran, and then the reports I'm hearing is like, oh no, there's going to be a sweep, and you're down in Florida. Florida, Republicans are winning, and in Texas, you're hearing Republicans are winning, but then in Virginia, there's gerrymandering going on, and it's all confusing, and you don't understand. But why is Trump going into Iran in a midterm year? He could wait 1 year, win the midterms, and then go. But by going to Iran, it's political suicide. I don't understand it unless, he knew the whole time he was going to cut off their other never ending faucet of money. So USAID shifts, and then they go to the backup plan, and the backup plan has been there the whole time anyway, and they've been executed the whole time. That's what Southern Poverty Law Center is. So the fact that they cut them off, and here's an interesting piece. The Southern Poverty Law Center, what they do is they create shell companies. They create shell companies so that they're hidden from the disruption that they create. Like, for example, I have a couple names of some, right? They have something called Fox Photography. They have something called Tech Writers Group. They have something called Rare Books Warehouse. And finally, they have the Center Investigative Agency. So now they create these businesses that don't exist. And then they reference these businesses and saying these businesses are backing up whatever strife like Charlottesville that they need. Okay. Now, the media is focusing on the informants. Oh, they were
Okay.
just getting informants so they could understand how to infiltrate them. Well, first of all, a private business is not allowed to fund informants in crime. See, the government doesn't. The government can do it because it's national security. The CIA, even though we don't like the CIA, they can do it because it's national security. But a private business can't fund people to do illegal stuff, you know. And
Yeah.
what's happening is that this business, they're not letting the folks know who are investing in the Southern Poverty Law Center that they're giving to these people. So it's not a good thing because they're not disclosing where the money is going. And then what are they doing? They represent themselves as this, and then they fund not this so that they continue to get funding. That is absolute fraud. So by indicting the Southern Poverty Law Center, now you can freeze. They're sitting on $800 million. $800 million worth of midterm money that is now gone. Genius.